Hi guys, Mike here, and today we're going to talk about this device. It's a 10-inch Asus EEE PC 1025 CE. This is going to be the new mainstream 10-inch netbook Asus is going to bring on the market this year in 2012. Unlike some other Asus EEE PCs that are also available out there, this will offer a very good value for the buck. It's cheaper than the premium 1025 CE, while it lacks some of the features. Most of you won't even notice them, and it's not as good looking. For instance, our version comes with this graphite gray exterior, but I feel like overall the materials are not as good as on the 1025 CE. Anyway, this is a very good device. Like I said, good value for the money, excellent hardware inside. It's a new Intel Atom Cedar Trail platform, good battery life, decent screen, and overall a very good experience. More details about each of the aspects of this particular device, the Asus 1025 CE, are available in the video review that's gonna start in a second. Alright, let's start the actual review, but before we go there are just a couple of things I wanted to tell you. This device is not yet available on the market. I managed to get it earlier. This is a pre-release sample unit, and because of that there are a couple of things you should know. Final configurations may change a bit, and they will vary from country to country. So if you're living in Europe or you're living in the US, you might have different options for this device, the 1025C. Also, one more thing, right now the graphic drivers are not yet up to date, so we can't really test this one to its top of its possibilities in terms of graphics. That's why I haven't actually run any game on it. I'm just going to show you a couple of things about its HD multimedia playing abilities. Okay, and now that you know this, let's start our video review by first taking a quick look at the exterior. The casing, our version actually comes in this dark gray color. It will be available in a lot of different other colors. The casing is made from metal. It's plastic from a matte plastic. It looks alright. It could catch some smudges, as you can see here, but should be quite scratch resistant. And of course you have the Asus logo over here. The lid cover doesn't bend, so it's overall very solid build. Of course, this is a Flare device. It's part of the EEE PC Flare line, and you can see this by its shape here. A bit thicker in the middle and thinner on the edges. Plus you get this chromed edges, which is kind of a brand, a top mark for the EEE PC Flare line. On the bottom you have this plastic textured finish, and it comes in black, and I'm pretty sure all the devices will come with the black bottom, while the top and the interior will differ based on your color option. The bottom will probably is probably going to be black. And over here on the back you have the battery. This version actually has the 3-cell battery, and we're going to have a quick look at this battery right now, if I can manage to get it out. Okay, it's a very light 3-cell, let me see, 26 milliamp 28 watt-hour battery. Of course, in some configuration might come with the 6-cell battery, which should offer twice as long battery life. Putting it back, it's actually quite easy. Just place it in here, press, and then lock the screen, lock the battery, and it's over here. Of course, the battery, while it's still a 3-cell, still has this small hunch here, which allows airflow to go freely beneath the device. Plus, it allows good grip when holding it like this. And it's quite interesting that over here it says inspiring innovation, persistent perfection. This is probably a new logo for this line. And we should probably also have a quick look at the RAM, at the memory. If I manage to actually get this lock away. Okay, one more thing, before actually taking a look at the battery, you should know that you will have to remove the battery before accessing RAM. And you're only going to need a screwdriver. You can do this without voiding warranty if you want to upgrade it. This one comes by default with 1 GB of RAM, but the hardware supports up to 4 GB of memory. So if you want to upgrade it, I actually suggest that you upgrade it to at least 2 GB, but if you want to upgrade it to anything else, you can actually do this. You have to remove this, and behind this plastic cover there is the memory, and you can see that it's not soldered on the motherboard. It's actually accessible. It's fairly easy to get it. Okay, so that was the memory. Let's put this back. Of course, when removing this cover, you should be careful. It has this tiny clips here. You should be careful and not to actually break any of these, because it might get loose. Okay, so that was how you can upgrade the memory. Now that we're off with this, let's go ahead and put the battery back. Okay, battery is in place. And now let's have a quick look at the sides. And I'm going to start with this part. We have the DC in here, VGA output, a standard USB slot. This is a cooling vent and HDMI. On the front, there's actually nothing except for the status LEDs that are visible over here. You'll see that I'll show you those when we're opening the device. Card reader over here, headphone microphone, another 2 USB 2.0 slots, Kensington lock and LAN adapter, plus nothing on the back. So there's no USB 3.0 on the 1025C, which is one of the differences from the 1025C, the premium line. Opening the device, you're going to notice that there is this standard keyboard that we've seen before on Asus EEE PCs. It looks quite alright, and there is this matte interior, also in dark gray. It's not black, it's the same color as on the hood. If you're going to opt for a different color, for instance, I know, blue, this interior will be blue as well. I also have the 10.1 inch display, and it's a matte screen. You can see here, you can easily get this outside because it won't be a mirror, it won't reflect things like all those glossy displays. And it's quite interesting that you have this new bezel design here. It's made from plastic, but it's a texture plastic, which I feel it tries to resemble aluminum. It's still plastic, but it's very nicely looking. On top you have the camera, and you have this LED that shows you when the camera is on, and the microphone. And unlike the 1025CE, which has a privacy lock protection for the camera, this one actually lacks the feature. This one is the cheaper version. The keyboard, what we're having here is the European layout, and you can see that's by this small shift over here and the taller enter. Personally, I prefer the US layout a lot because I tend to use this shift, and this way you will hit this key instead of hitting shift most of the time. The trackpad, it's not that tall. I would say it could have been taller actually, and it has this click button. It's chromed, it's made from plastic, and it's a single click button, but actually works quite good. You don't have to press it hard to register commands, but you have to press towards the edges to register things properly. And the trackpad, I'd say it's accurate. It works with multi-touch gestures. Can't really say it's amazing. It feels amazing because it has this plastic finish, but it's very good. If they could have made it a bit taller, I would say it would have been one of the best trackpads I've seen on netbooks so far. The keyboard has little flex, it's not very noisy, and I'd say it's pretty standard. If you already seen a keyboard on a previous generation EEE PC, then you know what to expect here. Now the keys are not full size, but in time you will get used to it. Okay, let's go ahead and power the device. Only one button here, the power button, no other physical button, but over here on this part it says EEE PC Flare series. Inside this one, the one we're having here comes with an Intel dual-core Atom N2800 processor. Some versions will probably come with cheaper N2600 processor. This is right now the top CPU available from Intel in this for this line of computers, and you also have 1 GB of RAM, 320 GB storage, plus Windows 7 starter, as you can see here. The screen, as it loads, let's have a quick look on the screen, and you can see that the viewing angles, they're not actually that terrible. They're not amazing, but they're not that bad either. And let's see, this is the highest brightness level, and when bending the screen like this, you see that the viewing angles are actually better than what Asus offers these days on their glossy screens. And with other screens, there was like this jittering effect because of the mate panel. Right now I think that the images are quite crisp. So it's a very good screen considering the class you're actually in here. Okay, one more thing, you can see that the screen doesn't bend that much on the back, but it still bends enough so you can adjust the viewing angle in most of the available conditions. Okay, now because this runs with this Atom Intel hardware, I'm going to show you a couple of things about it. First, let's see the Windows rating. It says here N2800 processor with 1 GB of RAM, and the Windows Experience Index is 3.4, which I would say it's a bit better than it used to be. Let me adjust the camera a bit. So it's 3.4 with the lowest for gaming graphics, where the processor gets a 3.6. If you're going to add more memory, the memory score will improve, but the overall score will remain the same because it's determined by this graphic mark. Now the platform, the new Cedar Trade platform, is not meant to improve gaming your gaming experience, but it does improve your multimedia abilities, and because of that we have here a couple of clips, and we're going to have a quick look at some of these. But first let me zoom in a bit so you can see better what's going on here. Okay, so let's go ahead and open this software. It's Media Player Classic Home Cinema. This is what I use to run clips on low power devices like this, and we're going to start with a 720p MP4 file. And you see that this file is going to run perfectly. It's running smoothly. There's a bit of lagging when seeking between scenes, but overall it runs fast. Let me see if I can also show you the speaker volume here. Not this. I'd say it's a bit, the volume is a bit low. Not really impressed with the volume on this one, but it might be a problem with this particular clip we're having. So let's go ahead and try another one. I'm going to try the 1080p MOV clip. And let's see if this one is going to work. You see that the volume is a little bit better, so that was a problem with the previous clip we were trying. So it's just 1080p, and it's actually running flawlessly. 1080p MOV clip. But now let's go ahead and try the MKVs. And we're having this, the 720p MKV. And let me go ahead and check something. This option, Control J, allows you to see if DXVA is actually running on this device, which means that the clip is accelerated via the GPU. In this case it's running, and you can see that the clip is working as it should. Now let's try the 1080p MKV, and you're going to see what I'm actually talking about. In this case, the XVA is not running. And in order to enable the XVA, you have to follow a procedure. It's complicated because it has a lot of steps, but you can find all these tutorials how to enable the XVA online. And in the written review, I'm also going to publish the link towards one of those reviews. And I'm going to show you that the other device I'm having right here with same hardware, the N2800, I got to enable the XVA on that one, and that one can play the 1080p MKV without a problem. So the hardware is capable, but you have to enable the XVA in order to be able to play the 1080p MKV. So that was basically the multimedia experience I wanted to show you here. Now let's go ahead and open YouTube. Unfortunately, I can't really show you Hulu and Netflix over here because they're not available in my country. But if this one is going to manage 1080p YouTube clips, I'm pretty sure it will handle Netflix and Hulu as well. So the bunny clip, that's the one I'm always trying, the Big Bunny full movie. Okay, you can see that the screen is not really that big. And right now I'm using two-finger scrolling and it's actually working alright. Let me try ahead and zoom. You can see that I'm zooming out and in. Of course the hardware is not very fast, but it does the job. I mean, it's working alright. So let's go ahead and switch to 1080p. So this is 1080p YouTube playing. It's buffering right now, but you can see that the overall experience is great. Of course the screen doesn't offer those excellent colors. The images are not that bright as you might expect from other devices, especially from those glossy screens. But overall, I think it's a very good screen. Okay, so it can handle all these types of content. Unfortunately, like I said, the drivers are not yet final, so the graphic only work with DirectX 10.0 right now, so it's not DirectX 10.1 capable, and because of that I'm not able to run games and to test games, and I'm not able to run all the benchmarks I usually get to test on this. Still, you will find some benchmark results in the written review on the site. Okay, now there are a couple of things I should also add, and we're talking about battery life. And this one comes with a smaller 3-cell battery, and because of that you should expect on average around 4 hours of life on everyday use, as long as you trim the screen brightness a bit. And the screen is quite bright, so if you trim the brightness to say 50%, you're going to get increased battery life, while not really reducing your overall experience with the device. So as long as you trim your screen brightness and go over here and adjust the power option to auto mode from this application, which is Asus EEE EEE Super Hybrid Engine, you will be able to get 3.5 to 4 hours of life on everyday use, around 3 hours for MKV 720p clip playing, and if you stretch it, if you only use it lightly with the screen dimmed towards the minimum, and of course with no wireless, we're going to get up to 4.5, maybe 5 hours of life out of the 3-cell battery. The 6-cell battery, that's completely different story. Basically just have to take what you get here and multiply that by 2, because that battery is 2 times bigger. But more details in the review for the 1025 CE, which actually has a 6-cell battery on it. Okay, in terms of prices, can't really tell you anything for sure right now, because this device, like I said, it's not yet on the market and hasn't yet been announced. From what I know right now, for the US, prices will start at $300, and I think for $300 you'll get this version with the 3-cell battery. Should be available in stores in late March, early April, somewhere around there. But like I said, prices aren't, I'm not 100% sure that those are the exact prices. Plus, I expect this device to get cheaper in time as the Atom processor gets more mature, and as well as Intel manages to produce more of these Atom platforms, because as you probably know, this is a device that was launched a couple of months ago, around June 2010, and it was pushed back so late into 2012 because it had this Intel Cedar Trail platform, which wasn't actually ready on time. Okay, I think that's all for now. That was our video review for the Asus EEE PC 1025C. See the next part of this clip for some final conclusions. Alright, you saw in this video review that I was actually right when I was telling you that this is an excellent mini laptop for the money. The prices will start at around $299 for the basic configuration, can get a bit higher. But this is overall a very good device, has nice ergonomics to it, good build quality, good materials used for the exterior. It comes with this mate screen, which makes it excellent when used outside, and overall the keyboard and the trackpad are good as well. Not to mention the performances. It's an Intel Atom Cedar Trail platform, which is a bit snappier than it used to be, than the previous generation Atom used to be, plus it offers good video playing ability, so you can even run HD and full HD content on this one. No games, but multimedia content, yes, those are an option. Okay, if you want something more classier or more better looking and better equipped, Asus has of course the 1025CE, which is the premium 10-inch netbook they have right now. Otherwise, if you're a more budget oriented customer, this might be probably one of your best picks right now. Like I said, the Asus EEE PC 1025CE. Alright, that was it for now. Mike here. If you liked our clip and you enjoyed our work, please don't forget, press thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. Thank you.